Good evening and welcome to the Self Checkout Show. I am your host, Pastor Will, and it is good to be back on another Monday night. We are so glad to be here, along, of course, with my beautiful co host, Coach Crystal Love, is with us in the building tonight. Hey,
Good
Coach.
evening. How are you?
I am well. I am well. I hope everybody is doing good on this Monday evening. It is President's Day.
Yes.
And unlike a lot of people, I found out I was off work today. Praise God.
Praise God, because I was not.
You had to work today?
I did, but I was at home.
Okay. Well, that ain't
However,
so bad,
today
I guess.
is my last day working at home, Lord.
You know, I don't know if I don't know if the working at home would work for me because I think I would be too distracted from my TV.
Oh, now look, I dibble and dabble, but I don't be too distracted. I do what I got to do.
Yeah. So I was off today and I kind of just caught up on a couple of shows. I got some rest. So all is well on this end.
Okay.
Um, we are awaiting the arrival of Dr. Nancy. I'm not quite sure where she is right now. But yes. Thank you guys for watching. Those on Facebook, those on YouTube. Please, by all means, do share and like and or love this broadcast tonight. We are
Well,
gonna
look
have
who it
a good
is.
time as we do every week. Well, hello, doctor.
The time got away from me. My Lord.
I
Hey,
am
girl.
really glad that you are here. Um, so yeah, we're gonna have a great time tonight. I need you guys again to, if you don't mind, please share and leave your comments. Let us know that you are watching. Hey Josie, I see you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Um, Thank you for tuning in. You know, we're going to get into some stuff as we do every week, but before we do that, we're going to just make a couple of announcements as we do every week. Really, only one announcement this week, though, and it is the same announcement because we definitely want to keep this in your hearing, and that is our uh, back to basics classes. These are classes on the spiritual gifts, and they will be, it's a month long, every Monday night in the month of April. These classes, of course, are designed to edify, uplift, and sharpen fivefold leaders and lay members. Each class individually is $25. However, if you purchase all five of the classes, you will get five for the price of four. So we are giving you one of those classes for free if you register for all classes. April 1st and April 8th, both Mondays, we have Prophetess Paula Dickens, who will be teaching on the gift of wisdom and the gift of knowledge. On April 15th, we have Prophetess Angela Smith. She will be teaching on the gift of discerning of spirits. Both of those prophetesses, of course, are under Archbishop William Hudson III and Lady Andrea Hudson from the Powerhouse, Chicago. And the last two Monday nights in April, April 22nd and April 29th, my very own apostle, Dr. Linda Stennis, will be teaching on the gift of faith and the gift of working of miracles. So we want as many of you who are not, if you're not busy, we would love for you to join us each and every Monday night in the month of April. There will be no self checkout show because we will be in Zoom. This will not be live on Facebook. You got to pay for these. So we will be on Zoom, but we would love to have you join us in the classes. And if you are not going to join the classes, you don't want to, you feel like you don't need it, won't you be so kind to sponsor a class or two for someone else? We would appreciate anything that you guys do. Hey, Mama, how are you? Hey, mama, I love you. My friend Vincent is here. Vincent Davis, that's my boy. How you doing? And Miss Daphne, we see you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And our BFF from Texas is here. Hey, Minister Nita. How are you? Denise Rutledge, that singing singer. We see you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. So, guys, Dr. Nancy, we laughed about this, Coach Crystal, the other night before we saw that horrible movie. That's
No.
thing.
The movie was good. Don't do that.
Good. It was good.
The movie was good.
We talked about Lent, and Melanie was asking, what did I give up? I'm like, nothing, because I just hadn't thought about it. I hadn't put any thought into it whatsoever, and I still haven't, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And but I do want to know from those of you that are watching, what have you given up for Lent, or if you're giving up anything for Lent? I never really, for me, the Lent season, like this giving up stuff, for me, it kind of puts me in the mind of like almost New Year's resolutions, which I stopped making years ago.
Yeah.
I don't, because I've rarely ever stuck to them, right? So I don't do the whole giving up stuff for Lent. I don't. And I laughed with Melanie, and I said, what's the point of me giving something up just to go back and pick it up again? So for me, it's a no-go. But what are you guys giving up? Coach Crystal, you giving up anything for Lent?
Not specifically for Lent. I had already, given up meat
You
for
did.
February.
Yes.
So, no, I didn't really think about Lent. It came so fast.
Yeah. Carla, good evening, Carla. Glad to have you tonight. Doctor, you giving up anything for Lent, or have you given up anything?
Well, no. But for the month of March, remember, we kind of all have gotten together and said we were locking down these accounts, these credit cards, our dollars, and so I gave that up for March.
Now I can say that.
It counts.
Okay.
I can say that. I can agree with that.
So it's going to be a financial fast.
Yes. And
now I'm gonna need the people praying for me.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Praying for me now. I'm gonna need the people praying, because
y'all gonna have to pray for both of us, because y'all know we likes to go out. Okay.
Y'all will be fine. Them restaurants will be there.
We like our brunches.
In April.
Crystal ain't here for none of it.
And you know what? It's finna get warm. Listen, the weather is, and when it's up like this, it's time to go outside. So,
but you know what?
I don't necessarily have to spend no money.
1 month is gonna be just fine, because the only thing that I have pressing in the month of March is Easter Sunday, which is the last day of March. So I'm good. I went grocery shopping. I bought me some stuff.
You ain't done nothing yet. You the grocery shop already for March. No. Boy, stop fluffing.
But I got stuff that I can eat at home.
So you good for the week?
I'm good. Daphne said resolutions are, let me put this on the screen. Resolutions are made to be broken when you make them. That's why I don't make them. I just do what needs to be done. I don't do Lent. I just don't. I'm with you when you're right. That's how I am.
If you think about it, it's just like fasting. So when people are giving things up, even if they go back to it, we fast, right?
Yeah.
And we give up whatever we give up when we're fasting, and we go back to that after the fast is over. So Lent and resolution they're not side by side.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Hey, John, he says we'll have 1 or 2 cheat meals in March only because I have restaurant gift cards. That is right. That is right.
Only after that, and then Martise said he had 1 too, and I was just shaking my head. Here we go, trying to.
I'm okay with that, because that won't cost no money. That's free. Gift cards.
Is that how you doing that?
It's
you
free.
See how they finagle. Yeah.
Good. That's your
I don't have to spend no money on that.
So we're not going out to eat. Those gift cards will be good in April.
No, you're not going out to eat.
See what I'm saying?
I'm going to eat for free.
He weak.
Let's say that.
Weakening. When they say food, he say yes.
Yes, indeed. So
My
I-
brother is correct. Our wedding anniversary
Yes.
is next month, March. So
Well, you
oh
fasted
Lord,
from
that's
food.
right. Y'all anniversary is
You
in
fasted
March.
from food, not from celebrations.
so that means we have to celebrate with food. You have to go to a
Gotta
restaurant.
eat.
Your husband likes home cooked meals.
He is a country boy. He does.
You know what, Crystal? Did
can
you
do it.
notice? Did nobody pay him no attention with that?
And
Not for
you
Easter. Not for Easter.
know, don't y'all do my husband like that. Don't y'all do him like that now.
Honey, my Lord and Savior rose on Easter Sunday, so
Listen.
he was not working. The Bible says it's Sabbath. You understand me?
He took the day off, Crystal.
That's right. That's
He
right.
took the day off. Nita said, "What's the limits? Because y'all can't do group dates and be like, I didn't pay." Look, let me tell you right now. These gift cards are to Longhorn Steakhouse, and I can go. We can go. My bestie and I, and have a appetizer, an entree, a beverage each, and won't have to spend $1. All we have to come.
Well, that's
up
not
with.
fair. Now you'd have kicked out the rest of the crew. So the crew needs to. We have to have a vote.
But see, we not spending no money. Y'all will have to spend money.
What I'm with Crystal. Then y'all may have to save y'all's gift card until the whole.
It's still February. We can run and go get them gift cards in February.
We'll see. I'm kind of busy for the rest of this month. Vincent said, I leave the giving up things for Lent to my mother. I'm good. LOL. I hear that, right? Yeah, I'm not so much doing that. Yeah, your brother has spoken.
You know what? That birthday really did something to my brother. Before he was, all for one and one for all.
Listen,
now all of a sudden he just
something happened with this 36.
Something done happen.
Something happened, Coach. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was always in him.
It just came on up
This
now.
is his month. He gonna manifest everything. He said
Okay.
ain't no more holding back.
Okay.
And when I tell you, he ain't been holding nothing back. Nothing at all.
Not
Listen,
a thing.
my friends, you guys that are on Facebook and YouTube. Another thing too, and this is something that I will be pushing. Wait a minute. Look now.
Defend me, Crystal. Don't defend me.
Help, Crystal.
Do not.
John, me and it's always.
Well, we're gonna leave that right there. All right. Listen, I want you guys to and we're going to be pushing for this every week before we get into our discussion tonight. I do want to say this. WTM, we have some things that we are currently working on. I wish I could really tell you what they are. I can't right now. It's too soon. My pastors are in the loop, of course. And this is why we are asking for, gifts and seed every week. And we want you guys, as many of you as possible, if you can sow a $24 seed to help us. We have until this is February. So we have 5 more months. And there are some things we're trying to do. And we need your help. Everybody that can possibly sow a $24 seed to the ministry. Will you do that for us tonight? The ways to do that are scrolling across your screen, and that's all we have to say about that. We do appreciate everything that you guys do for the ministry. Now, Coach Crystal, Dr. Nancy, as of late, we have watched the family of stand-up comedians go bananas. All thanks to Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp, when he had Cat Williams in his on his show, on his couch. Cat Williams opened up a whole bunch of cans of worms. Yeah. Okay. And one of the people that he spoke about during his interview with Shannon was Monique. And he expressed, all right, thank you, Miss Daphne. We appreciate it so very much. He expressed his respect, love, and adoration for Monique, which was not too much of a surprise to me, considering, you know, the paths that they both have taken. You know what I'm saying? So after he was on Shannon Sharpe, the next thing you know, here comes Monique on Shannon Sharpe show. Hey, Miss White, Annie White. So how do you resolve an issue when you no longer talk to them? Okay, well, okay, we'll give you an answer on that in just a second. Hey, I don't care what they call you. I'm gonna call you Aisha with the long A. Miss Asha Noel, the host of Sophista Ratchet.
So we've been saying it wrong. Is that what you're saying?
It's Asha.
It's Asha, and I just heard that last week on her show, where her aunt, or I don't think that's her aunt, Bridget, kept calling her Asha, and I'm like, is it Asha really? Because I never called you that.
All these years, all I heard was Aisha.
Right.
Aisha,
So
Aisha.
nevertheless,
so now we got to change it up and say Asha.
Okay, because it's gonna be hard to change.
That's real
right?
bougie. Like, I like it.
I know, right?
Real bougie.
Definitely,
Asha.
She just let me have it. Definitely let me have it. She said, "Don't call me Miss Daphne. You're making me feel old." All right, Daphne, we got you. But welcome, Miss Annie White. Welcome to the show. Okay. She said we are saying it correctly.
Right. I changed it from okay, Diva.
Come on with the stage
name.
Okay, right.
Miss Asha Noel. Huh? We hear you. All right, so you know what? Let's take a detour right here because we have a question from Miss White. How do you resolve an issue when you're no longer talking to the people regarding the disrespect? Okay, I'm gonna really let I want Coach to answer this, but before she does, I want to just say that I wish I had a little bit more to go on in order to effectively answer your question. Mm-hmm. However, generally speaking, you probably can't resolve an issue that with someone that you no longer are speaking to unless you make an effort to speak to them to talk about said issue. Mm-hmm. And apparently, according to what you wrote, is there's been a level of disrespect. I mean, I would like to know who this, not in name who they are, but is this a friend? Is this a family member? Is this someone you work with? What was the level of disrespect? It's a little bit more needed in order to really, really give you a really good, effective answer. If you could drop that really quickly, maybe we can assist you a little bit better. Coach, you got anything to add to that?
I'm not sure that we need all of that. I just think that it is whether or not she's moved to the level of maturity with that situation. If she wants to find out, hey, this is what happened. I'd like to know why this happened, or can we mend it? I'm not sure that that's all important for us per se.
Well, it makes a little more sense to me now that I see this. It was her entire in-laws during her husband's passing. Now, let me say this. I get it. I get it. Miss Annie, because when my daddy passed, that side of the family acted a plum fool. Okay. So I get that. And I still have, well, we weren't close anyway, to be honest with you, maybe a few of them, but I didn't fool with them then. I don't fool with them now. So they cut up when my daddy passed away, and we just let them because they wasn't in control of nothing, no way. Obviously, it was my mom who took care of everything. So I didn't feel a need to even talk to them about them acting a fool. Now, I don't know how the relationship was between you and your in-laws, but it typically, I would like to think that if a person is feeling a way about something that somebody has done, that there is some type a level of respect or love there, because you're asking the question. So I say to you, and I echo what Coach Crystal said too, there's got to be a level of maturity there. Is there one somebody that you think you could get to say, hey, we need to sit down and have a chat about what happened? Or I don't know. Death, Nita said, death brings out the worst in people. And that's true. It really, really does. It really does. People come out the woodwork acting a fool. Aisha said, in my opinion, if you're not talking to them, that is the resolution. Okay? If you want closure, then you have to speak with them and address how you feel. Now, them taking accountability is out of your control. And that's a mic drop right there. Yeah. I love that. I love that. If they're willing to talk, great. Have that talk. Hear them out. Let them hear you out. If they're not willing to, move on with your life. She says it was fine, so I thought, until my husband got sick. I love these people, and now I see they never cared about me. Yeah, you may not get the closure that you're looking for. Dr. Nancy, you got anything else to add to that?
I think that it's important to remember, like Nita said, death can bring out the worst in people, but we also have to remember that emotions are high with loved ones, no matter who you are, parents, child, aunt, uncle, cousins. Emotions can be high, and because everybody wants the best, people tend to sometimes overstep their boundaries. Not always necessarily meaning to disrespect, but it does, and it can come off as disrespect. I think that if Annie wants the closure, or if she's looking for the apology, because they can't make it right, or no one can make it necessarily right if they're not talking. And no one's feelings can be heard if no one's talking. There could be a misunderstanding or not, or a position or not. I feel like she has the right to say, this was my husband, and you may not have agreed with me putting him in this suit, but this was the suit that I chose as his wife, and I'm just going to say suit just, as a form for sake of conversation. But this is the suit that I chose as his wife. And I would that, you all would respect that decision. It doesn't mean that I don't care about you all anymore, or that just because he's gone, we aren't family anymore. It also it depends if you are close with them. Yeah. It sounds like, a simple conversation, and it may not be today, may not be tomorrow. There may be some time, because you even have to heal and deal with the trauma of losing your husband. So that may come in weeks or months, or maybe even years from now, where all of you all are able to kind of look back and say, you know what, maybe we could have done this different, or we could have responded this way differently. Now, if that does not happen, and if that cannot happen, if you're okay, then just like Aisha said, not talking to them and going on with your life, because now he's no longer an equation to the situation. So you can move on with your life, unless you all have children. If there are children involved, then the children have the relationship with that part of the family, because that's their family. But if you want to move on with your life, then you move on with your life and close that chapter of your life. Let it stay closed and go on and be okay with you.
I like that. What it is so true. What Nita said, it is really, really true. When people die, man, I mean, it's like folks turn into monsters sometimes, and you know about insurance money and just all kind of crazy stuff. But like, I'm like, yo, where were you before all this happened? You ain't been around. You ain't said nothing. We don't know how you feel. So now why you got so much to say? But that's a whole nother story. But
that's a good topic for one evening, huh?
I think so, because while we're talking, it triggered me a little bit. It got a little personal for me.
Yeah.
Because of all that I saw my mother go through, especially when my dad passed away. When my sister and my brother, that's us. I mean, we handled what we had to handle. Hey, Bishop Holloway, thank you for being in with us tonight. But when my dad passed away, because he had other children before he got with my mom, it's that side that just, I mean, ooh. So it triggered me. So I kind of get where Annie is coming from. So yeah, I think we might need to
and there are always layers to even that.
Always.
My favorite word, layers. There are always layers even in that respect, or in that regard, if you will, because everybody feels like, I have a right to it, or I'm entitled to it, or he was my dad.
Yeah.
So, or she was my mom, or that was mine, so
yeah.
I think
that's why wheels are so people write it down.
Yeah.
You want the dog to go here, you want the cat to go there, the chair to go this, the table to go there. Write it down. Write it down. Power of attorney. That's real.
Yeah.
Executors, all of that stuff is real, and it's legally in place for a reason.
Yes.
So that we won't have to endure and or deal with these type of situations. But herein lies the problem. We don't handle our business, right? And I'm not trying to be insensitive to anyone. We don't handle our business on that level because we just don't face it, right? We don't think it's gonna happen, or we just feel like everything will fall into place. And it's really not. It's really not, because we have that. That's why it's put in place, so that we can handle our business, life insurance, policies, wills, executors of estates, and all that other stuff, power of attorneys. All of that stuff matters.
It does.
And it's there for a reason. And that's the truth of it.
Because I didn't necessarily agree. Mama, she might have went to sleep, but she was watching. My boy crashed on you.
Smack you for that.
My mom, she's always been on top of everything, and this case was no different. She had everything lined up. Some conversations are really hard to have, Coach, but we have to have them because it's going to happen eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
And my dad was up there in age. He was in his 90s, so we knew he was going to leave us eventually.
Mama said she won't.
She said she here. So she took care of everything. She had everything, all the ducks in a row, right? And I didn't necessarily, and neither did she necessarily, agree with what my dad requested happened to him once he leave. But it ain't us.
Say that but again real loud. But that's right.
It's not us. He made specific requests. And as hard as it was for us to accept, we honored my daddy's request.
That's right.
And
that matters.
It does matter.
And even if others don't agree with it, again, there will be, like you were talking about with your siblings, those other siblings, those other children, they may not agree with that. But if this was the request of the deceased, we need to honor them. Yeah, it may be hard for you Yeah, you want what you want, but at the end of the day, if this is what this person has requested, why are we deviating from that?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
And it was a weird. Well, no, it wasn't. I take that back. It wasn't weird. It was just what he wanted, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what he wanted in a second. Carla says those things do matter. I get sensitive when my mom wants to talk about it, but I know it has to be done. It has to.
Carla, we're the same too. We're like, okay, ma, okay.
Yeah,
and even and look how I am. I'm only 51, and when I try to talk to my children about it, they're like, "You're not going nowhere no time soon, ma. Just okay."
Yeah.
But like you're saying, we have to have those conversations, and we have to deal with those things because we don't know.
I loathe talking about that, or even bringing it up. And I know where the policies are, because listen, ain't nobody left but me and my mama. All right, our family, the rest of our family is our immediate family. It's gone. But okay, I need to know what stuff is.
Yeah.
In the event that something happens.
Yeah.
And that, you know what? As simple as that question is, Coach Crystal, where are the insurance policies? Do you know how hard it was to ask that question? It was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Apostle Tabor, thank you for being with us tonight. Hey, Nettie, how you doing? Net says, my mom always said you have to talk about dying as well as living. That's true.
That's true.
Because regardless of whether we like it or not, death is a part of life.
It is a part. Mm-hmm.
And it's going to happen. And let me just say how I want to say it, y'all.
Say it.
Black folks need to do better with handling their business.
What I just say, but you just went on here and put it out there. That's so true. We have to do better.
We got to do better with that.
Yeah, we do. We do.
You need to know where the policies are. You need to know if there's a last will and testament. If Dr. Nancy said it earlier, you know what I'm saying? Conservators or power of attorneys. Yeah. All that stuff is important. It's important.
Yep.
Because if you have it on paper,
that's what
I
matters.
don't care who's left. That's it cannot be disputed.
Cannot. That's right.
My daddy wanted to be cremated and poured in the Mississippi. He said he wanted to go back south, down south. I said, well, this is a strange request.
Look how you said what?
This was a strange one. But that's what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my mom and my nephew, Kevin, we got up early one Sunday morning. Saturday morning, I think it was. Saturday or Sunday. And we drove all the way to, I want to say Minnesota. And we thought we was going to get shot by some MAGA folks, because we was on their property. Thank God he kept us. But we got to the mouth of the Mississippi, and we honored Daddy's request and put his ashes in the Mississippi, and it was flowing south. That's what he wanted. So that's what he got.
Mm-hmm.
Apostle Tabor says, when you don't talk about it or not replace things in order,
it does. It does.
Extended families.
It does. And that's where a lot of those fights and a lot of that frustration, right? And a lot of that anger, that's where a lot of it comes from, because things haven't been put in order, and the person that's deceased hasn't set order prior to. So now everybody's going haywire. Everybody wants a piece of the pie, and not a little sliver. They want a whole big old chunk.
Yeah.
When it was only meant to be this way. So
yeah. So it's a lot that goes into that. Carla says, I'm aware of everything. I'm her oldest daughter, and she knows I'm the sensitive one. Well, Carla, ma'am, sensitive or not, some stuff has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen. Conversations have to take place, because somebody's got to know what to do.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody's got to know what to do. That's
I
right.
mean, we gotta cry and grieve and all that, but do you not know the moment someone passes away, the business begins?
Say so, and we forget that the
It's
business
true.
begins.
It's true.
That's right, because it's got to be paid for. It's not free. We understand, sir, ma'am. We understand that your loved one has gone on. However, this casket cost, this cremation cost, this plot cost, the hospital bill is still there. The doctor's got to be, the speaker has got to be, the repast has got to be paid for. It costs.
Yeah.
It costs.
My mom says my oldest son, my brother Tony, didn't want me to hear him talk about what he wanted when he left here. So he said, Ma, if I don't tell you now, how are you going to know what I want? It's important, y'all. Got to have these conversations.
Yep.
Must have them. It was like we his family, you just his wife. See, now here's the thing right here. Coach Crystal, you've been married before, as have I. Now, let's look at this comment right here. She says, it was like, we his family, you just his wife. So, yeah, that makes a difference. Because if y'all married, I don't care who you are. It's the spouse that gets to make all the decisions unless specified otherwise. Coach, talk to us, please.
I'm probably the wrong. Anyway, I just feel like when you get to the funeral aspect of it, the way that people act at a funeral is surface. There were some other things, just like in this statement, they disliked her long before a funeral.
I'm here for that.
Just added to the kerosene that was already there.
Yeah.
Now it's a fire. So now I'm going to say, well, we were supposed to have this, or you should have did it this way, or my brother didn't want it like this, or that's what I'm going to say, because they already were harboring feelings prior to. Well, that's the way it was for a lot of the things that I have. I don't think that it's just only about you having paperwork in place or you handling the business. I just don't think that. I just think that it's some more stuff to that. Because I'm not going to just be cool. Then my brother died, and then now I'm going to jump down your throat. That's not. Yeah. That's just not the way that happened.
It was something there already.
I can't necessarily say I agree with that. Again, I think that emotions are high, and a lot of times, especially if it's a parent. So let's talk about a parent. If it's a parent, we want what we want for our parent. You know what I'm saying?
And I got what I wanted too.
And so but if there was someone else, if there was another child, or if there was, then now they want what they want as well. And so now they have to.
But see, it wasn't financial for me. It wasn't financial. My dad wanted to be cremated. I wanted him to be buried in the ground. We buried him. Okay. When his family came up, that what their issue was harboring from years. It had nothing to do with the fact that, he just died. Yes, that's your daddy, but he left your mama. He was with my mama. They were harboring feelings from that. The whole issue with, well, you were the one in the house with him, and I had never met any of them until my dad passed. So that's the reason that I think that way. I don't just think that it's any one thing.
Now, Crystal, I'm with you on that. Because
I think it just depends on, what's, I guess, the dynamics of the family. I mean, I guess that can happen. So I'm not going to say that can't happen, especially if you were in the house with them, or they weren't, or they felt like you were raised and they weren't raised and all that other stuff. I'll give you that. But I think that other times, or sometimes, a lot of it is just emotions, and we just all want what we want. Like you're saying, well, one of us want them buried and the next one want them cremated. And now we're fighting over
that was me and Webster.
Yeah.
So I just can't see you burned up. That's not something that was gonna work for me. Just like if early you got it wrote down, baby, I'm not gonna burn you. I'm not gonna burn you.
Let me jump in here real quick and say this. I'm with Coach Crystal because I have the same. I had the same experience, because there were other step siblings that I did not learn about until after my dad married my mom. And I had to meet that other side, right? and it was hell to pay because initially his children from the first marriage, you know, they gave us hell because they didn't like my mama, of course. And I mean, I get it. This the new wife, you know, I understand that, but somehow it just worked. We got past all of that, but it became a whole nother thing when Daddy passed away, right? So it's like, bro, you don't have a say in nothing that happens here. I understand that's your father. I understand he was married to your mother for a time, but now he's not. He married to my mama, and her name is on everything. So, yo, shut it down because we got this. We good. And it became a problem.
That's again where the layers come in. And that's again why it's important to have things put in writing, because now in this day and age with the whole blended family thing, that does happen. And yeah, they feel like that. You know, the other children feel like that, but they just feel like that because, you know, perhaps it's, you know, it was my daddy too, and I want to be included. Because y'all know now, while we talking around the way and everybody's saying what they're saying, sometimes when there's a blended family or another one, then the first family, the kids, they're marked, you know, they're X'd out or excluded out of the plans, out of the obituary, out of everything. They're just like forgotten about. So, and I've seen that happen.
That didn't happen with me though.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen with us either. They weren't.
But I'm saying it has happened, and it does happen. We can't be, you know, we can't be ignorant of that because it's happening. Stepchildren, previous children. Once the person remarries, they get unincluded now. They're no longer included in the planning. They're no longer included in decisions. They're not included in the obituary, or they're not even mentioned.
But then that still speaks to the fact that there was something underlining. Because that is long before any funeral that I cut you out. I cut you out as soon as I said I do. You done with. So now you're harboring that and you're going to hold on to it. So when the funeral comes now you're trying to determine, am I going to be part of the obituary? Well, I know he probably left me something. I mean, he can't just leave me destitute, or she can't just leave me destitute. They've been holding that. And now they're acting out.
Yeah.
Even though paperwork, right, that's the bottom line. Get your stuff in order.
That paper right.
Get your house in order.
The paperwork just make it go through. The paperwork
house in order.
Let me get some of these comments. This is why I miss having a producer. As she said, we have to understand that death is a part of life. It's not easy to deal with, but we have to be calm and conscious when making arrangements. Grief lasts forever. So take care of the business so you can grieve peacefully. Amen, sister. Yeah. Vincent said emotions can be high, but death within the family will also bring out the true colors in some family members, which is exactly what we're talking about right now. Hey, Lady Kamisha, glad to see you. Thank you for being with us tonight. Tell Pastor Greg we said, hey. Kimmy, glad to have you with us. She said, even with difficult conversations that still hurt us, still need to be had. My mom told me her wishes and I carried them out. It almost took me out, but her desires were done. I think that's important.
Yeah.
I really think it's important that if a loved one says, hey, this is what I want. I just think it's important that we honor that. Because it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's not about what I want. Yes, I think I have an idea or an opinion of what should be done. But if the person who is departing says, no, I don't want that. I want this. That's what we should do.
Yeah, I agree. I've already told my children the same thing. I want to be cremated as well. So it's in writing.
Ain't none of them, including your husband, trying to hear.
I don't care.
Well, honey, it's gonna happen. It's in writing, and everybody knows.
Well, I'm just letting you know how I feel right now. You keep saying it's in writing. I'm telling you, I don't care.
Lord have mercy.
Nita said,
I'm right.
My aunt's husband died of cancer, no living will. He had property. Now the brother is fighting her for it. See, this is the type of stuff that we're talking about. We have to take care of the business, y'all.
Yeah.
Because
It
if
has
it's
to be
not
taken
taken
care
care of, this is the type of stuff that happens.
That
You
happens.
get family fights, family
Yep.
feuds, and now I hate you because you got this and you ain't give me none of my daddy stuff. Take care of the business. Take care of the business. Kamisha said, definitely need things in writing when the family dynamics are a little out of the norm. Yes, Mika, it's always issues always arise. You don't just cut people out at the funeral. Absolutely, you don't do that. We still want to do everything out of respect and honor those family members, the children and the grandchildren and stuff that who the deceased has left behind. Mom says, even though we were married, I still had the power of attorney. That's it. That's right.
That's right.
Told you, Mama papers was in order. Okay. Pastor Marti says, facts, true colors come out during that time. My mom wanted to be cremated. I regret we did it to this day, but it's what she wanted. See, that's what I'm saying.
But it's what she
That's
wanted.
what I'm saying.
So
my daddy wanted to be cremated. I didn't agree with it. Mama didn't agree with it, but it's what he wanted.
Yeah.
So we had it done. All right. Aisha said, I have it in writing to be cremated too. I don't want anybody last vision of me in a casket. Put my she said the most bling.
Listen,
and turn.
I don't even want to be in an urn.
Ways in life.
I don't even want to be in an urn. I'm just like your daddy, Pastor Will. I want them to pour me out.
Who you out with?
Sprinkle me around.
Crystal, don't pay her no attention, Crystal.
I'm serious.
She's upsetting me.
Don't pay her no attention, Crystal.
I'm so serious. I'm so serious. I've told my children the same thing. I don't want to earn. I don't want them walking around with a necklace. I want them to just,
So
I had to deal with. I'm not listening to you anymore. I had to deal with this. Marty said I had to deal with this during my dad's passing. His wife told me while he was on his deathbed that if I wanted something from the cafeteria, that would be the only thing I would get from. Whoa, wait a minute. What? Let me read this again. His wife told me while he was on his deathbed that if I wanted something from the cafeteria,
she would buy it. That would be the last thing and the only thing that he would get from her.
Oh,
see, he never told me that because y'all know that.
Oh,
well, let me just be quiet because we are.
Well, this is a Christian show, so I ain't gonna say what I want to say. Praise the Lord. I'm
gonna just be quiet.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up on that one too. I'll text you my response to that. I want to be planted by a rose bush, and they better do it
by the rose bush.
Right. See, you know what?
Get my brother off the screen because he just.
Apostle. I'm with Apostle.
He gonna trigger me. Get my brother off the screen. He's gonna trigger me. So
I'm with him on that one. I'm sorry.
He gonna trigger me.
I did not, ladies and gentlemen. We had no idea this show would take.
Because it just took a whole turn about 30 minutes ago.
And it's okay. We gonna ride it out because we already
out here now.
We'll talk about the other stuff next week. No, not next. We'll figure it out. Benson said even if you don't have the will drawn up 401k, money market accounts, life insurance through work and self-purchase, put those beneficiary names on those accounts and keep them current. I want you to know I did that at my job just recently because I do have a nice 401k sitting there, and I'm like, I had never taken the time to make, okay, this needs to go here, this needs to go here. And so I had to do that because, again, y'all, we don't know when we leaving. And in the event that something happens to me, I need to make sure the right person get all my money in that 401k.
You need the correct spelling of my name.
Because I want to know if I get my 5% too. I need to make sure I'm in line. While he over there typing away, type my 5% in it.
Tabron, get off of my.
Didn't I say get my brother off the screen? Because
he's saying what we all thinking.
He's saying off the screen.
I'm with you when you're right, brother. I'm with you when you're right. It's important. I hate that things get screwy, and people so many have said it tonight, death brings out the worst in some people. I think that we have to really, especially in the time that we're living in, we really need to, and we're laughing and joking about some things, but this is a very serious matter. If you haven't, those of you that are on here, if you're an adult and your parents are still with you, if you have not had that conversation, you need to have it.
Mm-hmm.
You should definitely have it. Hey, mom and dad, life is life, and we don't know what's going to happen to who, when, where, what, why. But in the event that something happens to you, where are your insurance policies? Right. What do you want done? And put it in writing. Mm-hmm. Have it put in writing. I already know.
Any possession, not just the insurance policy. Insurance policy is great, but any possession, there has to be something in writing to say where it's going, what's happening, who it's supposed to go to. So 401ks, stocks, listen, everything.
And on that note, let me say this respectfully. If you can go out to dinner once a month, just once a month, you can pay for life insurance.
My Lord.
Get you some life insurance, because I don't want to see now one of y'all talking about a GoFundMe to help bury somebody. Get your tail some life insurance.
I think everybody even tired of doing that. They make
over it. If you can pay for a meal, you can pay for life insurance. Kim says, I'm adopted, and my mother's niece literally waited until we were headed to the cemetery and showed her tail. She tried to tell the funeral man she was in charge and didn't give 10 cents toward nothing. See, this is what I'm talking about. I couldn't believe the audacity of her, but I told my mom that I believed she would make things difficult for me, and she did. But my Donna got her tail and put her in her place. I know Donna did that. This is what I'm talking about. See, Crystal, again, when somebody passes away, I said it a little while ago, the business of death begins. And it takes a lot of money. Sometimes, unfortunately, the insurance policies don't cover everything because funerals are expensive.
Woo. And that's what we don't understand. And that's the sad part of it too. And people don't understand that. Funerals are very, very, you can't even say very enough for anybody to understand that they are costly. That is like money making lights went, like the red lights went on for these type of people that are in that industry. The casket cost, the rose cost, the inside cost, the flowers cost, the sprays, everything. Listen, plane tickets.
Yes.
You want a bereavement plane ticket? You're going to pay almost double what a plane ticket costs. That's a bereavement. So, and I remember saying, wait a minute, this is bereavement. I don't get a discount? This is ridiculous.
Yep.
But nothing is affordable. And that's the sad truth. Nothing is affordable when our loved ones pass. Yeah. Obituaries, the programs. Y'all don't throw them things in the garbage. Stop leaving them sitting on the seat. You know you don't want them when you're getting them. We spend all this time being creative, putting all that color into them, putting all these words in them, and y'all leave them on the seat or throw them in the garbage.
Throw them in the trash or put them in the glove box.
Listen, if you don't want one, ask your neighbor, can I see yours for a minute? I'll give it right back to you. And give it, do that. Because those things cost a lot of money too.
They do.
A lot of money.
I'm telling you they do. That stuff costs a lot, man. And if you didn't know, if you want to have your loved one's service on a Saturday,
come on.
Extra couple $1,000.
Extra for the place you having it and for the cemetery.
And for the cemetery.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, it's
and don't be late.
Attached to
don't be late because you're gonna pay for that too. Don't let your service run over and you get to the cemetery late, because you're gonna pay for that too.
I remember when my brother of the three of my family that left us, my brother was first to go. And I remember getting a call at work. And at the time I was working downtown, so I wasn't driving. I had to take the bus to my mama's house, and I'm on the bus just boo-hooing down, and everybody trying to give me tissue and everything. I just need to get to Ashland. So I get to my mama, right? So when I get there, I get to my mom, it's wheels in motion. We got to go to Rockford. So I had to get myself together, and we had to get in the car and drive 2 hours to Rockford.
Yeah.
And once we got there, my brother was still laying there, and we had to talk doctors, and we had to call the people, the funeral home, and oh my, it's so much. Y'all.
Yeah, it's a lot that has to be done.
So much. Mm-hmm. So I had to put my grieving on hold because we had business to take care of.
Yes.
We had business to take care of.
Yes.
And it don't stop until after your loved one is buried.
That's facts.
And sometimes, depending on the situation, it still has some stuff
needs to
be tied up after that.
Because you got to collect money. Now you got to make sure that retirement is paid out. 401s are paid out.
Make sure
accounts are moved into
and they want the death certificate. So now you got to get copies of the certificate. You got to send the certificates out. Yeah.
You got to call jobs, and that's
it's a lot.
That's a whole other thing.
Katrina said in the headstone. It's so true. And that's a whole
another expense. Listen, man, if you ain't careful, you're gonna spend about $30,000-$40,000 on one.
When you look up, you're telling the truth. Yes.
So y'all have the conversation that needs to be had, because and I'm glad I got pastors on here tonight too. Do your people know what to do in the event that something happens to you?
That's good.
Is there a succession plan in place?
That's good.
If something happened to you tonight, would your church die because they don't have any knowledge of what to do, how to move forward?
Yeah, that's good.
You need to make sure you have that. Kamisha said, so true. Have the conversation. Nothing worse than having to get things done in order while still trying to process the fact that you just lost your loved one. And I'm telling you that this is my story.
Yeah.
This is my story, you guys. Going through all this stuff, and we got to go here. The people got to pick up the body, and they got to do this, and we got to call these folks, blah, 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 blah. I was with my mom and somebody else. I can't remember who else was in the car with us. And Crystal, we were driving. This may have been 5-6 days later after my brother left us. We were driving to go and get his suit to wear in his casket. And it's like I just blacked out.
Yeah.
And I remember I just lost it because I really hadn't had time to, because I was taking care of business.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why a lot of times the family, we always check on the family right after. Everybody at the house, you can't get rid of people, right? They're just you walking over them, you feeding them, but we forget that after the person is in the ground or after the person has been cremated and gone on, we forget that that's when they really need us most, because that's really when everything, because like you're saying, we're so busy. I remember when my dad passed, how busy we were, how busy my mom was, and I was only 16. But it's that aftermath when everything that you weren't able to deal with while you were busy falls down on you. And now there's nobody. The house is quiet. The phone ain't ringing. There's no chicken leg. There's no slice of bread. Yep. There's no fish. There's nothing. And it's just you. And now you have to pick up the pieces and try to figure out how to move forward. And there's nobody there. We forget that. And we gotta be mindful of even that time as well.
Because when things get quiet, that's when everything is so loud.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yes, I totally agree with you on that.
Mom was talking about the obituaries and everything. Oh, funerals.
Yeah, they're very costly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we want them to look nice and pretty and all that, and colors and stuff. Man, that stuff costs a lot of money.
Got to get the hair done, the nails done.
Yep,
it's the whole situation.
We were late for my dad, Kamisha said, and they wouldn't even let us through the cemetery gate until we paid that extra money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is not about, oh, they should feel sorry for me. I lost my love. They don't.
Mm-mm.
They are there to run
the business. Yeah.
And I'm not going to lose my job
because you.
And I know this may sound really bad, but understand what I'm saying, y'all. Them folks not going to lose their job because you grieving.
And you got to remember that they only have so many employees. So let's just say it's 4 services on that day. But you got them over here, and here's my family coming in over here, and we're expecting them. The people still stuck over there. They can't service us over here. So that's the reason for it. Because now they've not accommodated these people, or they got to shut this down, run over there. No, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And it knocks them back. Yeah. So it's so true.
So true. Wow. Again, we had no plans to go this route tonight. None at all.
None.
We were supposed to have been talking about Monique and her son and they dirty laundry all over social media. But we ended up taking a detour. So we're going to talk about that another time because I do want to talk about it because we share too much on social media sometimes. Definitely want to talk about that. But this is another situation because if you saw the title of tonight's show, it's called Dirty Laundry. Well, that's what we were going to talk about. But this is another case when it comes to people dying. Folks will air some dirty laundry then too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is so horrible and disrespectful, but it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Stop posting about folks that's not your family members before the family actually post on it. Have a little respect.
Yeah. Look, here she go. It's her bedtime now.
Mama say I'm gone. It's been my bedtime. It's been real, but I'm out.
Night.
Love you, Mama. Apostle Tabor said this was so needed. More you know. I think it was too, Apostle. We love you, Mom. We love you too, Apostle. I think it was needed, and so obviously somebody needed to hear this tonight. And I even saw Carla saying, "You know what? I'm going to have that talk with my children."
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Because we have to, of course. God forbid any of us are taking anytime soon, but you have to understand that eventually we got to leave here and we don't know when.
It's the truth.
We don't know when. One by one, God is indeed taking us away. Yeah. All right. And we have to have money. We have to have that business taken care of so that we can do things right, put people away the way they want to be. Respect their wishes. It's not about what you want. It's about what they want if they have specified it.
Yes.
If you don't get a say, you don't get a say. That doesn't mean you're not loved or you're not appreciated. But some things just have to be the way they are.
That's right. I'm sorry. Understand, but it's okay.
The third cousin might want their name in the obituary, but that's not how it goes, y'all.
That's right.
The aunties and uncles and cousins and nieces and nephews, they say it's a whole host of y'all. They do not name you in the obituary. That's just how it is.
It's just how it is.
And it's not going to change because we in our fields because we want something. Good evening, Prophet Lonnie Davis. Thank you for tuning in. So take care of the business.
Take care of the business.
Before time. Take care of the business before time. Listen, We're gonna leave every last Monday of the month this year. I promised that I would come and share an encouraging word with you guys, and next Monday will be no different. So we're gonna come back next Monday. The girls, the Coach Crystal and Dr. Nancy will be off, but I will be here ministering the word of God. And next week we are going to talk about the promise is still good. So you don't want to miss that next Monday night. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. Share a seed, any seed with us. The ways to do that are scrolling across your screen. We thank you for tuning in by Facebook, by
This
YouTube.
was good.
You.
This was good.
It was. It was needed. It was.
It
needed.
was. It was. And sometimes we have to pivot. Pivoting is good.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Totally okay with that. But we're gonna talk about this cremation of yours, but because Crystal is not happy about it.
She's gonna be okay.
Soon as they close that furnace, we into it.
And you know what, Pastor Will, I think it's important that even the viewers know that it's not just always about us, but we want to know what they want to talk about as well. So I think that's why this tonight was really good.
I agree.
Annie came, and Annie, we love you, and we'll definitely be praying for you.
For sure.
Annie came with her question, and so I thought it was great.
And Dr. Nancy, I'm glad you said that. You guys, you all are faithful viewers of this show. If there is a topic that you would like for us to cover, just say the word.
Mm-hmm.
We will definitely cover it, because what's important to you is important to us. And if we could get you guys some answers, some encouragement, or whatever, let us know what you would like for us to cover. And I promise you, we will do it. You are very welcome. Vincent, thank you for joining us tonight. So glad that you're here. We're here every Monday night at 7 p.m. unless otherwise said so. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, all this stuff, all the platforms. Just follow.
You got us everywhere now. You got us out there.
We all over the place now. We got our own TikTok page.
Could you block him? Could you block him, please?
Block who?
Block your brother.
Oh.
Your what?
Why?
Look what he said.
Oh,
do you see what he said?
You know what? It's time to go. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Between him and John
Crystal, get him.
Martise Blink, if you're in danger.
See what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Hey guys, we got to get out of here. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in to the Self-Checkout Show. This is your favorite Christian talk show. For Coach Crystal, for Dr. Nancy, I'm Pastor Will. We'll see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.